tonight we have another very special guest. She's my friend Courtney. We met during our time as English language assistant in Las Palmas de Gran Canaria. And today she's going to talk about her journey and how she got to Spain, all the way from the US, her experience, the ups and downs, etc. So without further ado, Courtney, hello. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thanks.
Great. So you ready?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
No, I'm great. I'm really good. I'm doing well in Madrid. Thank God. Slowly, things are actually picking up. You know, with the whole business, the VR stuff. So yeah, everything is going well. So yeah, let's go right back to how it all started. I want to hear the whole story, and I'm sure the audience will be very interested in how the idea of coming to Europe came about.
Okay, well, it all started with a vacation. Yes. One of my girlfriends that I hadn't seen in a couple of years, we were both wanting to visit each other, but where I was living, it's not really great weather in November, and same with her. I was living in Portland, Oregon, and November it's really rainy and just gray and shitty weather. And then the same in where she was living in Colorado. It's like, you know, before the snow falls and after everything is, I don't know, it's just not great. So we decided to meet up in Rome.
Not a bad place.
Our plan was to go to Florence, actually. She had a friend living in Florence. And Rome happened to be the cheapest flight into Italy. So we did 3 nights in Rome and then a few nights in Florence. And Rome is actually where I met my boyfriend, Tobias, on that vacation. And I went to Portugal for a few days. And then I took a solo trip to Barcelona. And in my hostel in Barcelona, I met a girl who was doing this Auxiliaris program, and we were both doing our makeup in the bathroom. She's like, "Oh, you're American, me too. I'm doing this program. I'm a language assistant. I live in Menorca, and my life is amazing, and it's so cool. And I take a trip every month." So she gave me all the information, and the application opened that January, and I was just ready to make a move to do something else. I was already kind of researching different cities in the States to live in. And then the opportunity to live in Spain kind of just presented itself. And I thought it was too good to be true at first, because I was filling out the application. I was kind of thinking of, I needed to get my TEFL or some kind of teaching degree. And we didn't have any place to put that in the application. And I was asking her, like, I don't need a teaching degree or a certificate. She's like, no, you just need to speak English and to have a college degree or be in your last year of university or something like that. So I was a little nervous filling out the application because, you know, if I hadn't met this girl who was already in the program, I would have been kind of sketched out. Like, yeah,
of course. But you were like, that sounds a bit sketchy, too easy.
It's too easy. It seems too, just like, okay, yes, I'm an American. No, I don't have any sexual crimes on my record. And yes, I have a degree. And I can just go to Spain. And it just happened to work out. So I got accepted into the program. I chose Menorca as my first choice because, I don't know, this girl just made it sound like a paradise dream.
Exactly. Islands.
It was.
The Mediterranean.
It's not what I was thinking. I was expecting like this warm, sunny, tropical island all year round, but it's not like that in the winter. It's pretty windy. No, it's windy and cold.
What was Menorca like most of the season? So, for example, right now we're in March. What is it like right now, more or less? Do you remember?
Now it's warming up. It's starting to get a bit nicer. I remember in February it was gorgeous, and then it kind of cooled down again in March. And then it warmed up again a bit in April.
When were the bad times though? When were the bad weather like?
I would say November through January.
Okay, so the peak winter time.
Windy. Like they call it the wind in Rock Island. It's there's not a lot of mountains or anything. It's a pretty flat island.
It's flat, right?
So there's nothing. Yeah, there's one mountain, Del Torro, and it's like the highest point on the island.
Is that the place where you recommended me to go, or is that another place?
Yeah, it's a nice place to go. And they have a restaurant there. I never actually got to eat there because I only went in the wintertime. But I had a glass of wine there once, and it's a beautiful view. There's like a monastery on top, and it has a really gorgeous view of the island.
Is that that's where the fortress is as well, or no? Or is that another place?
But it's another place. Yeah. Up top, it's just like there's a lot of people like paragliding up top. So if you go up there, you'll see people on paragliders kind of like cruising around in the sky.
So there is mountains.
Pretty cool.
There are mountains.
One mountain.
One mountain. So
it's not really a mountain.
Let me take advantage because, as you know, I'm going next week. Are there like the roads? Is it like easy to drive around there? Would you say?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really easy. I wouldn't go into like the old centers of towns. You know, it's possible to drive, but it's going to be really narrow streets. But just if you're driving from one side of the island to the other, there's a big highway. They just did not a big highway, but they did a big renovation, like road building thing. And it's been ongoing for a long time. And it's easy to drive from one side of the island to the other. And in the towns, it's easy to drive around.
What do they eat? What do they eat in Menorca? Like, what is the typical thing?
So sobrasada is a big thing there. It's like a soft sausage. It's kind of like chorizo, but not really. It's got a bit of a stronger taste, and it's very big there.
Is it like tapas? Like
they don't really do tapas. I mean, they do tapas, but not like with the drink. You know, like you go and order a drink. Maybe they'll give you some olives or some peanuts or some chips or something, but they're not gonna serve you a tapa. Generally.
And what else? I want to hear more.
Ensaimadas. It's kind of like an empanada, but it's sweet. And like fluffy kind of bread with some kind of like sometimes they have chocolate inside or cream or something. Yeah, sometimes chocolate, sometimes cream. Lots of cheese.
That sounds like a crepe.
It's not a crepe. It's fluffier. It's more like a croissant, I guess. It's like a croissant, but like a big circle. It's like a pie, but flat. It's hard to explain, I guess. But if you imagine a big, wide, flat croissant with chocolate in the middle, something like that. And they use a lot of pork fat instead of butter. So
okay.
Yeah.
Would that be considered a snack, dinner, dessert? When would you eat that?
It would be a dessert or breakfast. Or breakfast and dessert are kind of like the same here sometimes.
It's true. The churros, breakfast
or like
and
in
dessert.
School, like at my school in Galicia, everyone brings an empanada, like a big tuna empanada.
How come?
Birthdays, I don't know. Everyone has a birthday like every week, and there's always an empanada in my teacher room.
You guys are always eating, right?
Oh my god, their food here is insane. Like there's like for my birthday, I was trying to join in, so I brought some just a tablet of different meats and cheeses and some bread. I made some cookies, like some American like oatmeal peanut butter chocolate cookies. And I brought some like gluten-free things for one of the teachers. But everyone brings like they go to the bakery and they get an empanada and they get a cake, or they bring some cookies or something.
Did they enjoy your cookies?
Yeah, they liked it a lot. It's like peanut butter isn't really a big thing here, but they do have it.
Yeah, very rare, but they do. Yeah, they do have it. We find it in Lidl, in certain shops.
Mercadona actually has a pretty good peanut butter.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, I think. When was it that I had it? It was when I went back to Laura's house. On that, like, they had it at home. But yeah, that was the last time I had peanut butter. It's rare. I've never really had peanut butter in Spain. Like, as you say, it's not it's not a common thing at all. I think a lot of people don't even know what it is.
No, they're not. They don't know. They're just like, what? Cacahuetes, mantequilla, the cacahuetes, like butter
what the fuck is that?
Peanuts? What? Like you mix butter and peanuts together? Like, no. You just crush
They're
it.
missing
until it's
out.
nice
They're missing out.
smooth. Oh man, they're missing out so hard.
Do you put jam on it as well?
Um, on a sandwich, if I do like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or I
don't
put
do
peanut
that.
butter in my smoothie, or I put peanut butter in some oatmeal or my yogurts, or on a peanut butter banana sandwich.
No, me it's just peanut butter on its own. It could be with what's it call it? Condensed milk. That's very good.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's like top. That's what we do in Hong Kong. So in Hong Kong we have like it's not on a sandwich. It's like a waffle type of thing. It's a waffle.
Okay.
It's basically a waffle,
Yeah.
and then we put peanut butter, melted peanut butter with condensed milk, and it's top. Like
Okay. Sounds good.
undiscovered snack. No, it's amazing. It's amazing. Whenever you guys get the chance to come to Hong Kong, we go together. That'll be very nice. Then we'll eat a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I would love to go.
But anyways, next question for you. What is the main difference? Let's talk about food. Obviously, we had peanut butter. So we're saying, for example, in Spain, we don't have so much peanut butter as the US. So what are the main differences you find? Whether it's people, I don't know, culture. What are the main differences between the US and Spain for you?
Well, that's really it's kind of hard to pinpoint because the U.S. is so big and people.
In your point of view, from where you're from.
So I've lived in the southeast of the U.S. and I've lived in the northwest of the U.S. So in two different corners, and there are similarities and differences, as many similarities and differences between the two parts of the U.S. as there are between Spain and the parts of the U.S. But one thing that is definitely different from the entire country to the other is the variety of food, for one, the variety of just different things. Like in the States, you can get any kind of food, just about. And in Spain, it's, at least where I've been living in the smaller cities and the smaller towns, it's very limited as to what you can get. Like in the town we're in now, we don't even have a Chinese restaurant. There's no Chinese food. There's not even a Chinese restaurant. Yeah, I know. I've never lived anywhere where there's not at least a Chinese restaurant. There's no Italian restaurants.
Oh.
There's a pizza place, but it's like Gali pizza, Galician pizza. And it's just a lot of the same food everywhere. I mean, it's delicious. It's great food, but it's the same food.
Yeah.
And the convenience in the United States is crazy. Like if I need to go to the bank in the evening, I can do that. I can't go to the bank in the evening here. I can't go to the post office in the evening here. I can't go and do a lot of things from 3:00 in the afternoon or even 2:00 in the afternoon until 7:00 in the evening or 5:00 in the evening, depending. The ease of paperwork in the United States is way better than here. I've been trying to get my ID since November, and I can't get it because I don't have 6 months left on my contract. So
what?
I can't even get my ID card now. I have my papers saying that I'm legally allowed to be in Spain, but I don't have my tarjeta, my TIA.
Wait, because you had to renew the TIA.
And I still have my TIA from 2019 because last year I tried to renew it also, and it's just it's not a clear process. As an American, you have to go through a lot of different steps. You have to get a resolución, so something saying that you are within good standing in Spain. You have to pay all these different tasas, and you have to file certain paperwork. And I went to an office here. I filed everything. I had everything in order, paid everything, gave it all to this woman, and then she didn't send my paperwork in.
What?
And she didn't send it. I didn't know until in the end of November, in December, right before Christmas, I went to the police station to try to get an autorización de regreso, something saying I could leave the country and come back without my ID card. And the woman was like, oh, well, your paperwork isn't in order. This is expired. And I told her, I sent it all in. I was just oh, some of it's sent in, but some things aren't sent in. So she ended up sending the things in for me.
Uh-huh.
And that's the only reason I thought was my paperwork, and it wasn't. It was just like a form saying that I needed to pay a tax. And I went back to the office, which is in Vivero, which is like a 45-minute, 50-minute drive from where I live. So I have to like keep driving to this office, and I finally have everything. I've got my papers, I've got my pictures, I've got my everything paid. And she's like, oh, well, your contract ends in May and it's March now. You only have 3 months left. You need to have at least 6 months before I can give you this ID card.
But what, at the beginning when you like started at the school, did they ask you for your TA?
No. I could definitely have not done any of my paperwork, and I think I could just be here. And I don't think anyone would even care. I'm just doing this because...
You're not the first person. Yeah, you're not the first person. Like last night, I was talking to another American who's here working in the school, and she said, yeah, she's trying to renew whatnot, and I don't think anyone actually cares.
No one cares. And that's something that's different. Like in the States, they're like, we want everything documented, and there's a lot of order. People they really care about your paperwork, especially if it's immigration paperwork. It's a big deal. Here, Spain, they're like, whatever, you're here.
Just don't bother me. Yeah, just don't bother me. Explain to somebody who's about to come from America, what is TA? Like just the basic, what is TA?
Okay, so everyone gets a NIA, which is the number of identification. It'll be issued in your visa, and that's your ID number. Like if you had a driver's license, it would be your driver's license number. And your TIA is your card, your ID card that has your number on it. It has your address and your photo. So it's basically just your identification card. If you have this, you can travel within the EU. And as an American, your TIA will end at the end of your contract. And from the end of your TIA until 3 months after, you can have a tourist visa. Okay. And as long as you apply for your TIA within those 3 months, then you are fine. But honestly, if you apply after the 3 months, it's also fine because no one checks and no one cares. So,
you've never run into any problems, right?
No, I've never had any problems except for like just trying to renew. It's getting it the very first time was easy. I just went to the police station with my paperwork and it was no problem. But in Gran Canaria, it was a huge headache. That's the reason we didn't stay in the Canary Islands. I was getting so frustrated with the paperwork. I'm just like, screw it. Well, let's leave. I'm done. They're making this such a headache. I'm done with the islands. Let's go to the mainland. Maybe it'll be a little more organized there. But it's not. It's not.
You thought the grass was green on the other side, and no.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely greener here. It's way green.
Hey, but guess what? This year it rained a lot in Gran Canaria. So I went back a few weeks ago, and now the island is actually quite green, like surprisingly green. Obviously, it's not going to be like Galicia, but like it's a lot greener than what I saw before. Like now, like all this. You remember, for example, in Vecindario, there will be all this like rocky type place. Now there's like some plants, some grass. It looks a lot greener than before because of the rain.
Wow.
So it's changed.
Any grass? Like pile of garbage.
It's just a pile of garbage. Yeah. So another question: What do you love and hate about Spain? We already hit on one of them. Okay. But I want more.
So, love about Spain. I just love the atmosphere here. I love how people are really welcoming and super they're friendly and they're very open. At least here, especially in Galicia, people are very open and super, super friendly. And I just love being able to sit on a terrace in the middle of the afternoon in the sun, drink a glass of wine for like €1.90 maybe. Cheap wine, really good. They bring you out a tapa. It's just, and it's fine. It's like, oh, it's 12 o'clock. Nah, it's fine. You can just be drinking a glass of wine. No one is judging you.
Yes, it's true.
No big deal. I can go out and take a hike in some of the most beautiful forests I've ever seen. I can walk out to the coast. It's just gorgeous everywhere. And the food is amazing and cheap. So Tobias and I went out for our anniversary dinner, and we went to this restaurant. It's like a nice place. And there's a dish here, arroz bogavante. So it's like lobster rice.
Oh,
like kind of like paella. Yeah, it's kind of like paella, but it's a little soupier. And it's got lobster, like just like a whole lobster in the rice.
A whole lobster. Shit.
Yeah, well, maybe like 3/4 of a lobster.
You had to like handle it, like break it apart.
Yeah, they give you all the tools and everything, so you gotta like break up the shells and whatever. But
how much was that?
22 euros for the two of us to have like this huge plate. It's like one ration, and so we got the ration of the arroz bogavante for 22 euros. We also got like a duck, like pato margaret or whatever. So we got a roast duck breast with like this orange sauce and these like raspberries. Nice. It was amazing. I've actually never had duck like this. I thought it was beef. Like the way it was so tender, it was so dark, and then it was also like a medium, so it was like kind of pink in the center.
It was roasted or no? Roasted duck.
Honestly, I don't know. I'm not sure how it was prepared, but it wasn't like crispy on the outside. It was very like soft, like maybe it was grilled. Yeah, it was soft and super tender, like melted in your mouth. That with like a little salad. We had some zamborinhas, which is like scallops. Zamborinhas, scallops on a half shell, and those are, oh my God, they're so good. They're my favorite thing. So.
I have to go in June. I miss the sea, like the coastal food, you know?
Yeah.
It's different. It's different.
Like these big shells with these big, like, just scallops on them.
No, I think I know what you mean. I think I know exactly what you mean. What sauce? What sauce? What sauce was served?
No sauce. Here, the main thing they do is just some olive oil, maybe some paprika, and like maybe some parsley or something. They want the quality of the seafood to really shine, you know, and just salt and olive oil.
I like that.
So we had the zamborinhas, the lobster rice, the duck, a bottle of wine, 2 desserts, and like some after dinner drinks.
Like a limoncello.
70 euros, yeah, like a limoncello and like a coffee liquor. 70 euros for all of this food.
Damn.
For like we had so much food. We had 4 courses and a bottle of wine. And
how did you eat so much?
Fantastic. Oh my God. By the end of dinner, we were just like with our bellies out. And here they do huge portions, like the biggest portions I've ever seen in Europe. It's like a Galician thing. They're like, if you leave the restaurant and you're still hungry, then you are going to think that you didn't have a good meal. So they want to make sure that you,
is that what
that's what a Galician girl has told me, because I'm like, man, every time I go to the restaurant, they give me like so much food. And she's like, yeah, well, they want you to be full when you leave, or else you're going to think you didn't have a good meal. Nice. So they feed you until you were like bursting. And it's the same in my school. Like at my school, I eat lunch for free. Yeah, and they give me a first, a second, and like some fruit or something at the end. And I've had to start bringing my own lunch to school because I'm like gaining weight with all the food that they're giving me.
But can you not just tell them like, oh, can you put a little less, please?
I do. I tell them this. I'm like, oh no, está bien, poquito. It's like, no. And then she just piles it on the plate. And then if I don't eat it all, I bring it back to her. She's like, oh, no te gusta. You didn't like it. I'm like, I liked it. She's like, oh, you didn't eat it all.
I'm just full. I'm, like, I'm going to puke.
I'm like, muchísimo. It's a lot of food.
That's funny.
Like,
that's actually funny.
Like you would feed the children. Like the children, they give them normal sized plates of food. But me, they're like, well, you need 2 or 3 times the amount of food as the kids.
That's funny. That's actually hilarious. That's hilarious.
So yeah, now I just bring my own lunch to school, so I can control the portions and the
I love it.
butter.
I love it. This I've never heard of. Like for me, like when I was in Tenerife, for example, I was eating at the school as well, and I was just taking full advantage. Like, oh, come más, give me more. Like a lot of salad or potatoes and croquetas, and it's like, oh, it's so good. It's all free as well. So you just ask for more.
No,
But
it's
yeah.
wild. Yeah, and then the other day we went to lunch in Viveiro when I went to do my paperwork and nothing happened. It was just a waste of a day. So we decided we got our rollerblades and we were rollerblading along the coast, and then we had some lunch. And I ordered like a starter salad as my first, and it's like this giant salad with like a ton of tuna and olives and tomatoes. It was huge. I could have eaten just the salad.
Just the salad.
They brought me like a bottle of wine. Well, it was probably 3/4 of a bottle of wine. And then I also had 2 like squids. It was the chocos, it's like sepia a la plancha. And it was 2 entire squids with potato, like fries, and a salad also. Damn. And this was 10 euros.
What?
It was insane. So
I'm not surprised you're gaining weight then.
Yeah. I've started to lose it a little. Now I've been like
controlling,
trying to watch myself a bit. But once a week I go out to lunch and I just don't care. I'm like, whatever. Once a week I can just eat whatever I want, and the rest of the week I'll be good.
The living is good. What about the things you hate? Like really, really hate about
things
Spain?
I hate. Well, besides the whole like bureaucratic process, I can say there's a ton that I hate. There's things that are annoying, on the streets when I'm walking on the sidewalk, and people will just take up the entire sidewalk and they don't move and they don't want to like let you by. And then I don't know. It's pretty intense.
Is it not because the sidewalk, the pavement, it's like a lot narrower than what one would be like in the US?
We got big sidewalks here. Like I'm looking at it right now, and it's very wide. I would show you, but I don't think you'll be able to see very properly. They're wide, and they will just take up the whole sidewalk, and they'll stand in the way. Or at the grocery store when we're at the supermarkets, when I'm trying to check out, the cashier is gonna talk to the person in front of me for like 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes is like, come on.
Yeah, like, oh no, people.
How are you? Oh, Mario, how are you doing?
Or I don't know, just little things like that. There's nothing that I hate though. I really like Spain. Well, it took me a while to get used to things closing in the middle of the day. Like when I first moved to Menorca and I was looking for places to live, and we'd finish looking around 4 o'clock. It's like, all right, 4 o'clock, let's get something to eat. I'm hungry, but there's literally nowhere to eat at 4 o'clock. And then all the grocery stores are also closed. So I can't even go buy something to eat at the supermarket. I can't get anything to eat at the restaurants. I can maybe get like a cold sandwich or something, but yeah, it's just not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I get you. It's not 24/7, 7-Eleven type of.
No, in the States, I could go to a 24-hour supermarket and get literally anything I wanted.
Yeah.
And here, I can't get a lot of like ethnic groceries.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I can't find a lot of like
flavors.
I don't know, anything that isn't Spanish. Yeah, I found some curries at the Lidl one day, and I bought all of them. I bought like every curry packet I could find.
A little, right?
Yeah.
Was it the
Lidl,
or?
And once in a while they have like a little section where they have like authentic, like No,
I had it once. Like we bought it once, like this year, and that's the only time I saw it as well. And now there isn't. Yeah.
So I saw a red curry, green curry, yellow curry, and like a tomka soup mix, just pastes. And I got 2 of each. So I got like all these curries, and I'm like eating them once every 2 weeks or something. I'm like, okay, we can have a curry this week, but we have to ration them. We don't have a lot, and they're not easy to come by. So
yeah, it's true. No, it's 100% true. Like to get authentic ingredients from other countries. I don't even see it. Like,
No,
it
it's
doesn't
hard.
really
It's
exist.
really hard.
Yeah,
Maybe in the bigger cities, it might be a little bit easier. Like in
a
Las
little bit.
Palmas, I would find some like Asian markets or something where I
Yeah,
could buy
exactly. But that's
something.
just the typical, the Chinese, like,
Yeah.
but then you can't get anything else other than that.
Yeah, no. And yeah, it's really
Yeah.
hard to find even like spicy peppers or something. I'm really
Yeah.
into
Mhm.
hot, spicy food.
Spicy food.
I found some Frank's hot sauce at one of the stores and I was so pumped, and I found some sriracha, and I'm really happy about it. If I ever find any like chow mein noodles or something, I'm buying them in bulk. I've got all these rice noodles and chow mein noodles that I've gotten from Mercadona and the Lidl that they have like once in a while, and I just buy all of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay, moving on. So what has been the biggest challenge so far? Like, if you remember one time that something happened or whatever in Spain, what was the biggest challenge for you?
Well, I mean, the pandemic is making things challenging in general. Just making friends during this time,
Yeah.
like in a small town, where I don't really speak the language super well. Like I speak it well enough to get by, and I can, have a basic conversation with people, but I haven't been able to make any Spanish friends since I've been here. I've made one friend, and she's from England, and she's doing the same program as me.
Yeah.
So, we just started hanging out about a month ago, and I'm like super excited about it because I haven't made any friends since we've been here.
That's shit. Yeah, because of the COVID. Like, yeah. I mean, even here, like, I made friends. Like playing football, but like friends, like me neither. And yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's, for example, because of Laura, she goes to school. She goes to uni and she does volleyball, whatever. Then she meets people. A lot more people than I do. I just meet people who do business. So yeah, like some of them are my friends, but like most of them are not.
Yeah.
And I'm in Madrid, and I found it like quite hard because sometimes I'm like, I don't really want to go out. I don't want to get COVID. I don't want to go. So that's another thing. So yeah, I can completely relate. Like if that, like, especially you're in a small like village. Well,
yeah, I mean, the people are friendly enough, but they're not like, I mean, they're friendly and they're warm, but they're not like my friends, Yeah. I haven't like had altercations with anyone, but I just haven't really connected with any people. So
not even the teachers. The teachers.
No, and actually my English teacher. So when I first started, I had a substitute English teacher because the normal teacher was on maternity leave. And she and I started on the same day. And it was her first teaching job ever. She had never taught.
She's young. Before. She's young.
Yeah, she was my same age. Okay. And so we started together the same day. She's really high energy and she was fun and I liked her a lot, but we didn't really connect. But now the original teacher is back and she's like scared of me. I don't know. What? She like doesn't, she's so timid and I think she's maybe a little embarrassed of her English level or something. Because when I talk to her, it's just like, oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. And she just, I feel like I intimidate her or something. Yeah. I don't know. So we definitely haven't connected.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it's a pity. But some of the teachers like are really sweet. One of the teachers has been like, she bought me some nice cheeses from the area. She's like, oh, I want you to taste these cheeses. And around Christmas time, she bought me like some turron and like some other local sweets and things. She's like, this is what we eat at Christmas time. And she's very friendly, very sweet, but we're not friends, Yeah,
I get you. It's a different level. Oh, how, like looking back, like how would you like not change, but like what would you do differently in order to like be able to connect maybe with more Spanish people? Like, yeah, looking back.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it weren't a pandemic time, I would definitely be doing, maybe I would like to take some dance classes. some salsa classes or bachata. We did a little bit of that in Gran Canaria, and that was a lot of fun. It's hard because I have a partner now, and in the past I was, single a lot, so it was easier for me to
ready to mingle,
go out and single and mingle and go talk to people. And, I'm just very comfortable in just hanging out with my boyfriend, and we have each other. It's not really super necessary to put myself out there. I'm not going to go crazy being alone or something.
I can relate. I can definitely relate.
Yeah, so I feel like if I were here by myself, I would definitely be a lot more motivated to get out there and meet other people. But I'm just scared.
Would the advice be if somebody come to Spain, come alone, don't come with anybody.
Don't bring sand to the beach and
just speak to random people.
I'm joking. No. I mean, it's definitely been a huge relief for me to have Tobias here, especially during the lockdown. If I had just been completely alone, it would have been tough. I would 100%. Say, if you come by yourself, try to get a roommate, try to live with someone. It would be really nice if you could live with a local. Or someone that has at least lived in the city for a while or something. And just to put yourself out there. I'm not really putting myself out there. I'm not really trying to make friends. But
you're past that now. I'm past that now as well.
I saw this girl post something in our Facebook group, and she's like, "Hi, I live in Ribadeo, blah blah blah," and I reached out to her, and that's how we became friends.
Oh, that's how you met Lucy.
Yeah, through the Facebook group. I definitely think the Facebook group is a big asset to the auxiliaries, for sure.
Nice. No, I agree. I 100% agree. I agree with that.
And I met some other girls actually in Ribeira, which is another town. It's like 2.5-3 hours away from here. I'm in another group, like a auxiliaries exchange, like vacation exchange group. And I posted in there at the beginning of the year, or at the beginning of the school year, like, "Hey, I live in Galicia and Ribadeo. If anyone lives in this area, I would love to meet up. Or if you want to exchange apartments, I can stay in your place, you stay in our place, or we can host you, or if you want to host us." And then she commented like, "Hey, I live here. I'm happy to host you guys anytime." So we went there and stayed with her for a weekend. And
nice.
Yeah, I met a couple of girls that way, and it was nice. I definitely don't think it's difficult to at least meet other auxiliares if you put in the effort. There's others scattered around Galicia,
Yeah. Some lonely souls as well.
Yeah. Because right now it's difficult because our concelos have been closed. So we can't go to certain cities. I can't go to any of the big cities now. And that's where the majority of the auxiliaries will be placed, is in the bigger, or at least where they'll live.
That's a shame.
So, the pandemic has really thrown a wrench in everything.
Nice.
We finally have some disposable income because we work 16 hours and the rent is so cheap. We pay 400 euros for our 3-bedroom apartment.
That's
huge.
Crazy.
And we have a car. We're on the peninsula. We can finally.
You can't drive anywhere, but you can't drive.
We can't do anything. It's super frustrating, but we are at least saving money.
Yeah, so, that's good. You can always use it later.
When the pandemic finally gets under control and we can travel again, we will definitely be doing our thing.
Hopefully in the summer. We're trying to save the summer. That's why they're closing everything now, because they really want the summer back. Everyone wants summer. Yeah, people are really behaving. I really hope so. I hope so too.
I should be getting the vaccine pretty soon, actually, because the guys are getting vaccine. Yeah.
Oh, because you guys are part of the teacher lists, right? Man, I'm missing out.
We're lower down on the list. Just to get the vaccine.
Just to get the vaccine.
Yeah, we're lower on the list. We're not as high priority, but we're still on the list. So
because I heard that yesterday from the other American girl. She's a teacher, so I was like, "Oh, so you're getting vaccinated already? Lucky you."
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know when I'm going to get vaccine. Like, I'm too young, and I'm not even. I don't think I'm on. Exactly, I'm not on any list at all. I don't think.
Yeah. So if you get really fat real quick, you could like pass the BMI thing.
Yeah, like I have problems. I have health issue.
Yeah.
I have health issue.
Maybe
I need the vaccine.
really skinny. Get yourself like some parasites or something. Get really skinny, and then you can get it.
Damn it. But yeah, what else? The next question. Which out of the 3 places do you like the most in Spain?
Well, that's hard to say. They're all so different from each other, and they all have so much to offer.
For you.
I mean, Menorca has a special place in my heart because it was my first time living abroad. I had met so many friends there because it's a small island, and the auxiliaries are either in Ciutadella or in Mahon. And I had like tons of friends, and we had a really great group of people to hang out with and just get to know the program and the island. That's where Tobias and I first lived together and where we started our relationship for real. So it definitely has a special place in my heart, and it's gorgeous. And the water is so amazing. Like, it's so crystal clear. You can see all the way to the bottom, and it's calm. And I love Menorca.
I can't wait to go.
You're gonna have so much fun. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend eating in Es Mercadal. There's a restaurant. I think it's called Los Molinos, just like a windmill restaurant. They do a mini del dia, and it's so good. It's really good. You should definitely have a lunch there one day.
Is Maddie there? Still there?
It's Mercadal. It's like in the middle of the island.
No, I'm talking about your friend. Maddie.
Oh, and Maddie is in Mallorca now. She switched over. But Brianna's there. You remember my friend Brianna?
Yes.
She was the blonde girl. Yeah, she is there now with her boyfriend Uhe. And I don't know if you ever met Brigitta. Her son lives in Gran Canaria, so she visits there a good bit. But she's there too.
Nice.
So yeah, I have a lot of very fond memories of Menorca, and I love it. Gran Canaria was amazing. Also, just the weather is unbeatable.
Yeah.
Sunny and warm and just perfect. We were at the beach on Christmas, like having a picnic, going swimming, and it was beautiful. But Galicia is gorgeous. Like, it's the opposite of Gran Canaria. There's so much green. It's like, it reminds me a lot of the Pacific Northwest, actually. Just like the lush green atmosphere, and the coast it's like there are beaches, but there are also, it's just like coastline.
Did you ever feel it has been like really cold in Galicia?
It's been cold, but it hasn't been like the cold I was expecting. Where I am anyway. I'm on the coast. I know that further in, like up the mountains, it definitely gets a lot colder. But where I am, it's mild. I mean, it doesn't really get below like 9 degrees or 10 degrees.
Well, even when it was snowing the other month?
It wasn't snowing here. It snowed. No, it snowed in the mountains, like a bit away. It would have taken us maybe like 45 minutes to drive to the snow. And so, yeah, I mean, it's definitely cold in the mountains. There are places to go skiing here also. So it varies. But on the coast, on the coast, it doesn't get below 10 degrees.
No, I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised.
Celsius for our American listeners. So, yeah, I think that's probably like 50 degrees, 45 degrees Fahrenheit. So
I don't know how to calculate that.
I don't know exactly.
I always get confused in the movies when they talk about the temperature.
Yeah, I mean, if you say 10 degrees Celsius or 10 degrees Fahrenheit, that's like really, really cold. So, I mean, 32 degrees is freezing. So you get to 10.
I'm like, so difficult. I can't just be 0, 1, 2, 3, like degrees. So easy.
We're weird in America. We have like really strange measuring systems for everything.
Inches, and I'm like, what? How do you measure an inch? or foot, like 3 foot
An
high.
inch. So if you take like the end of your thumb, this is typically an inch.
A typical inch.
The little thumb joint. The end of your thumb joint is an inch.
It's a very strange measuring system. Let's come to an end for this podcast. Very important question. What would your main advice be for somebody who's coming from America to Spain? The main advice.
My main advice would be to open yourself to the culture and don't, I mean, things are going to be different and maybe you might get a little homesick, but just open yourself to the experience and enjoy it. Just enjoy the ride. Try to, maybe things aren't going to be the same. Maybe you'll miss some things, but it'll make you appreciate the things back home more. There's just Spain has so much to offer. It's so beautiful. Right. And I mean, you definitely will be out of your comfort zone a bit, especially if you don't speak the language, but just try. And people really appreciate you trying, even if they know that you're not very good at it. They love it. They love that you're at least trying.
It's true. It's 100%. So get studying now.
Download Duolingo or, practice with a friend if they can speak some Spanish. Intercambio is like a really nice thing to do here. If you can find a friend that wants to learn a bit of English and can speak some Spanish, try to make friends with people that will push you to go outside of your comfort zone. I've been living in Spain for 3 years now, and my Spanish could definitely be better. So
good self-reflection.
I got to follow my own advice. I got to push myself a bit more out of my comfort zone. But I think that, if you just open yourself to the experience, that you can really enjoy it, and it'll be something that you really can appreciate for the rest of your life.
Definitely. Did you prepare a question for me? Do you have any question for me from my experience?
Yeah, well, I am wondering what it's like in Madrid right now. Like, are bars open? Is it like pretty lax?
Oh my God, Madrid. Yeah, Madrid pisses me off a little bit. It's kind of good in the sense that I'm able to go out and actually go to a bar, as you say, and basically do the same thing as pre-COVID times. But then I don't do it personally. But yeah, I think not just Spanish people, like even like people like from abroad who come here, like you see like a huge group of like French people or German people there, and then like more than 10 people, more than the limit, and they'll be smoking, and then like the mask will be down, and obviously they've been mixing with other people as well at the bars and restaurants, etc. So it's like on the one hand it's good in terms of you can still kind of socialize if you really want to, like nobody's gonna stop you. On the other hand, it's like, this is why we're in the shit right now, like literally. So yeah, that's what's happening in Madrid. Like we've never really had the lockdown, like since the first one, obviously, because of the president of Madrid. Like she refused basically to follow any of the restrictions. For example, in Galicia, in different places here, we're just laxed, like way too relaxed for me, because I live in the center, so I see this like every day, like just people at bars, like you can't, like some bars, like there's no window, so inside that nobody's following any rules, and the worst thing is the police don't do anything about it. They're like, oh, we're just sick of these people, we don't even want to talk to them, that kind of thing, So in Madrid it's kind of like, so if you guys come, we can definitely go and do things here. There's no restrictions really, like apart from the curfew, the 11 o'clock curfew. That's about it. But even like they say it's the 11 o'clock curfew, but we can leave somebody's house or a restaurant at 11, going back home, and it'll be fine. Like you're not gonna get fined. A curfew is supposed to be at 11 o'clock, you should be at home, but It doesn't work that way here.
Ours is at 10 o'clock, and I have a friend that was out at 10:15, and he got like a 200 euro fine.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
so our restrictions are strict. I think we have like I think we have the strictest restrictions in Spain, in Galicia. Yeah. But our numbers are going down.
Yeah.
Our numbers are going way down. So I'm hoping by Semana Santa, things will be a little bit more normal.
Yeah, I think in general, like Spain now is getting better. Anyway, so we just need to keep this. I think like we just need to keep these curfews and small rules. And that's it. I don't even see the point in like closing the actual regional borders. Like I don't think that makes sense at all. Like how many people are actually going to travel between the regions and like get each other sick? You know, I don't know. But anyways, it's it's a tough one.
I also want to know, like, what are you doing in Menorca? What's your project?
Oh, so basically, I'm going to create the virtual tours. I don't know if I ever showed you the 3D models of it, real images in 360 degrees of the school. So I'll capture the building. Exactly. I'll capture the building, create 3 models for this school. It's called La Salle. I don't know if you heard of it when you were there. It's called La Salle, and then SALLE. It's a chain. It's a chain. They have loads of schools in Spain. And yeah, I'm going there. I'm going to film 3 buildings at the school. Like literally, how I got the project was me doing the usual ringing up every single school there is in Spain, and happened to ring up this school, and the secretary picked up, and then I sent in an email. You know, the typical leave an email to me, and then I'll send it to the director, but you're just like, she's never going to send it. You know, she's never even going to receive the email. Typical. But then I think she received the email, and maybe they have like a common account kind of thing. And the director saw it like 20 minutes later, like after I rang, and then he called me straight away. He was like, "Oh yeah, we're interested," and I say, "Do you have time right now?" And he was like, "Yeah, in 20 minutes." I was like, "Let's have a video call," and then video call, explained to him, very nice guy. And then I obviously had to do a proposal, create the proposal, and then a month later, he got back to me. He was like, "Yeah, we're definitely down for it. Come whenever you want. We're up for it." And then so then we've been organizing this month, even trying to get Lauda, you know, to go with me. You know, he was like, we can pay for 1 more night at the hotel. It's fine. It doesn't make any difference to us. And so I was like, oh, maybe she can come. But then, at the end, I was like, nah, it's with the COVID, it's just not the same. Like, even if it's Menorca, like, we can go another time. There's another school, so which I've already talked to. It's the same chain, and it's it's in Menorca. And I talked to both of them at the same time. And the other one said, because it's a smaller school, so they're just waiting for the result of this one to see if it's worth investing into, basically. So I might have a second chance to go back.
Nice.
The job. So thank you.
When are you going?
Friday, next Friday.
Friday, okay.
Yeah, cool. It's close. So I'm aiming to have a job every month. That's my minimal target to be able to sustain myself, because this year has been like hard. Not having this amazing teaching job where you don't do anything basically, so well, it's been hard. But then also I believe that it has pushed me harder. So I've always said, I want to do business in Spain, so then I can show myself that not only am I a businessman, but I'm a business person who can adapt, kind of thing, and even do it in a country that it's not the UK, it's not Hong Kong, it's not in my own language. And and so far it's working, after many months of obviously a lot of rejections and hard work, etc. But now it seems like it's picking up slowly, and I really hope that I can do all these projects now, so that in the summer I can have a good holiday, basically. That's the aim.
Good. Yeah. Every no is one step closer to a yes. So
Exactly.
just gotta put in that work.
Exactly. As you're a hustler, you work in many things, so you're a hustler. You understand. But yeah, so this is me right now, and I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm really
good. Happy for you.
Yeah, I can't
Proud
wait to
of you,
see you guys.
man.
Thank you.
You're
Man.
doing it.
Thank you, Courtney. Thank you. Anyways, so thank you for being here, Courtney. Really appreciate you and Tobias for being at this podcast. That's it. That's the end of this episode. Thank you for listening, our listener, and we will see you soon again. So that was the end of this episode. Hope you learned a lot about the art of travel living. Make sure you give us a follow, subscribe, and likes so that I can make more useful and fun content for you aspiring travel livers. Thanks for listening.